Hi guys, this is your boy KT. I'm not alone, man. I'm with my homeboy here, Bogo.
Yes, sir.
On my subway. And the man behind all the cameras, the scene, is Marvin Go.
Marvin Go, baby.
We are from BC Production.
BC Production.
Beard cousins, bro.
Yeah, guys. These are the hawks of the game, guys. Talking to real people, asking real questions. We need the real answers.
Hashtag modern day communication, freestyle news.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And don't forget to hit that subscription button on YouTube to be alert for all our upcoming videos, guys.
Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this one.
We love you. What up, guys? We told you we're working. Today we're out here chilling with the representative of Pasma. You can introduce yourself, sir.
Greetings everyone, greetings to the audience. My name is Joseph Tito.
Yeah.
I'm a representative of Pasma and I'm here to articulate the position of Pasma with regards to the elections, 2018 and 2019 elections. First and foremost, Pasma is a student movement that is aligned with the idea and ideology of Pan-Africanism, which seeks to rally and unite all African students in all universities across the world to rally and behind one idea of Pan-Africanism so that we can triumph and conquer this capitalist-centered kind of education, which continues to create not professionals but a capitalist labor force.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What is your mandate with with your position in the SRC?
Okay, our mandate is one. It is to serve, suffer, and sacrifice in the best interest of students.
Yeah.
So by virtue of us doing that, it clearly says that all the injustices that have been happening in the university, all the atrocities in terms of decision making, which never favored the interest of students. Majority, there are many issues. We can start from BTech, registrations this year. They were made actually to fall into a trap, in a sense, in a form of a debt actually, whereby they had to sign surety forms. Now they're no longer binding themselves but their parents also. So those are the kind of things that we as Pasma aim to champion to rescue the life of an African child.
So this is known to be like the most of the time where most of you are humble. Like, how true is that?
No, you see, maybe this is one time whereby our electioneering strategies becomes in full effect. It's not actually us saying we're humble only now. We're humble from January until the end of the year. So now we just have to work more hard, make students aware that there are elections and they must go and vote, because understanding also that voting is very important. Voting for any organization of your choice allows you to participate in decision making in this university. Because voting also allows us to go and sit. If we are elected into SRC, we'll go and sit in council, in your senate, so that we are able to influence a decision that will favor the interests of students.
So tell me, how are you handling pressure if there is pressure?
Yes, there is pressure because the opposition, the outgoing SRC was coming from the EFF, Student Command. So there is pressure in trying to overthrow them because they've, centered their political program is centered around tribalism. That's not a lie, it's the honest truth. So with that being said, we're now not only fighting to get them away from that toxic student movement, but we're getting them away from a mindset that is anti-unity and anti-progress.
So who do you draw inspiration from? Maybe a political icon?
Yes, I have many political icons, I can say, but one who stands out is this man, Jafta Khalabi Masemu.
Yeah.
You know, one of the brilliant technicians in terms of strategies on how to overthrow a system. You know, one of the unsung heroes who spent more than 27 years in prison in Robben Island for that fact.
Yeah.
You know, so I draw inspiration from him as he was a teacher. He is part of those who mobilized students in the 70s in around Gauteng actually, and mobilized to overthrow that Bantu education system.
Yeah.
So I draw inspiration from this man. You know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Like, is there a division within the political spectrum, like at this moment?
Political spectrum as in our party.
In your party, yeah.
No, you see, we have what we call a different views and perspectives.
Yes.
So I wouldn't call it differences, but there is a battle of ideas on how to interpret our ideas better to society and to students.
What must students expect, like, from you if, like, given the position?
No, student must expect a real and, you know, honest service delivery that aims, you know, not to exploit or patronize them, but to deliver what will change the entire life from being a student up until you are working class. That is our aim. Because in this institution we have issues whereby most faculties are not recognized by bodies. By bodies or structures, I mean like outside, you know, the university. There are bodies like your SAICA, which deals with auditors. And it must be known that students of beauty who are doing auditing are not recognized by the structure. So that means there is an element of undermining our curriculum or our philosophy in terms of teaching subjects or courses like auditing. Because SAICA regulates all auditors that have graduated in South Africa. So if VUT has none in that means we are not directly changing society. Yes.
So through your experience as a member of PASMA, what has been the most highlight challenges that you faced?
No, understanding that our ideological lines, you know, are very much, you know, anti-whiteness in nature. So we live in a society which is guided through white laws, white mentalities, you know. So it becomes tough for us to access, you know, and find expression in such spaces which are anti-black consciousness. So those are the challenges that make students, individuals in general, not to understand our position, because we are from a black consciousness and Pan-Africanist school of thought. So those are, I can say, are some of the challenges, you know, that we face in terms of PASMA members. But besides that, there's nothing.
So to a student who's currently doing matric now, who wants to next year go to enroll to a university, especially like Value University, what advice can you give to them?
No, one thing I can tell them, first thing first is for them to pass their English very well, with at least more than level 5, which is, I think, 60% to 70%. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing they must do, because we have a problem in this university whereby students come with their, like, the prospectus also is not that clear in terms of English. It gives them an option of 50-60, you see. So it's not that clear. They end up settling for the minimum score. They come here, they found that they do not qualify. And then what happens? Fraudulent activities happen in that space, actually, where we know it's not a lie that there are comrades from opposition who continue to register students who do not qualify to enter into courses. And that has led into them being deregistered as the year consumes, goes forward. So that's a problem to me. Matriculants of this year must first thing first pass their English very well and pass their entire subjects very well, so that they can get access to Value University of Technology.
Okay. So since we started with doing the interviews, we interviewed like students. Most of them are complaining about the registration, like January. Like they're saying there is a board there by the case saying the queues must fall. But they come here like around 4 a.m. but they will queue the whole day without getting any help. So regardless of you getting the position that you, as Pasma getting the position to lead VUT, what changes can you bring, like especially about that one?
No, with regards with registrations of Value University of Technology, I would like to agree with you. There is chaos, and I believe that's an administrative issue.
Okay. Based
on staff that goes to that period unprepared. It's very much visible and clear that they do not prepare for registrations. Hence there is chaos, there is no direction. Also, those who are appointed to and then come in as volunteers are part of the problem, because they end up being the ones who held up lines by demanding monies, bringing their own people to just access queues, things like that.
Yeah.
I believe there must be proper planning. The registrar must sit down, plan very careful, and there must be a gap between the date where results are being, distributed countrywide and the date of registration. Because what becomes a chaos again would not allow a space there where we can say, if this much matriculants pass, this is how much we can take. That we put the statistics out there and it is known, so that there are no lines and chaos in the university. I believe we must first fix the administrative issue. Staff members must be properly trained to deal with students coming from outside. We know there is an issue when it's registrations. There is an issue called the system is down. And the system has been down for the past 5 years. So what is this system actually? That's an administrative issue that we must deal with, the system. If it's a server, let us invest in a server. Buy the best server that we can get in the country, so that processes run smoothly during registration.
Okay. So to this initiative that we have started, like interviewing you now, what can you say to us about that?
No, it's a great initiative. We appreciate that. We really appreciate, since this institution, actually the Department of Student Life, Student Support Services actually did not even advertise elections this year. It's a tragedy, because I believe everyone has a right to vote and everyone has a right when to vote. So such initiative will make sure that the message is spread across and people know that there are elections in VUT. Thank you very much, my friend.
Anything that you want to add?
No, the only thing I can add is that, comrades, let us go on the 30th and 31st of October, which is next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. And let us go and vote with consciousness. Let us go and vote for leadership, not prefects. And let us go and vote for Pasma. It's really it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the time.